Well, hello. Welcome to the series where we talk with travel professionals with what worked, what broke, and what's changing as we head into 2026. Today, I'm talking with Iris, who runs Surreal Journey Travel. Thanks for joining, Iris.
Thanks for having
Just
me.
so we can jump into it and get everybody familiar with you, why don't we jump into how did you get your first gig into travel planning, and what kind of clients do you enjoy working with the most?
Oh, well. So my background is in event planning. And so
Mhm.
I was a local event planner for many years in the Virginia Beach area. And I basically went from, promoting and hosting local events. And I decided to take it internationally.
Oh,
Started
wow.
like
That's
that.
really cool.
Yeah.
Easy transition,
It
seems like.
started with the cruise.
Um, so started with a cruise. What kind of clients do you enjoy working with the most?
First time travelers is my absolute favorite. I just love the excitement in their eyes. I even love, some of the ones that end up in tears and just so are happy, that they were able to take these trips that they never thought was possible. They are my absolute favorite.
Yeah. Awesome. And then regards to that transition from travel or from event planning to into the travel space,
Mhm.
what were some things that were similar, like common? What are some of the things that you were easily able to transition over into the space?
I'm an extrovert by nature. So entertaining folks has always been something that I've loved to do and I'm comfortable with. So it was very easy to take folks out of the country and just give them the time of their lives. So that was pretty easy for me. And I've always been a wanderer by spirit. I'm a military baby. My mom was in the military and we traveled all our lives. I'm a middle child of three, and we're all 1 year apart, and we were all born in different states. So
Oh, wow.
traveling, it's always been a part of who I am. So it was just easy for me. I got to do what I love and show people a good time.
Got that wayward spirit. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then in the travel, so how long did you say you've been doing this?
I have been in the travel industry 9 years, nine
Okay.
wonderful years. But of course, that came with a lot of ups and downs. But 9 years, yeah.
So you've been there long enough to be able to see all the kind of patterns and trends
Ooh,
and things
and
that
through
are coming and
COVID,
going.
all of that,
COVID.
yes. Hmm.
And then so over that time, what's some of the things you noticed in 2025 going into 26? Those trends, those patterns that you're looking to kind of solve for.
The trends I notice is that more people are open to traveling and they are open to traveling to places outside of the normal box. When it first started many years ago, everyone wanted to go to Jamaica or Mexico, or just the Caribbean and stuff like that. But now people are more open minded about countries that weren't as, famous as those. I have people going to Sri Lanka now and different places in Africa now, and just those not so familiar. I mean, I have a group going to Armenia next year. So that trend has been mind blowing for me. Oh, and speaking of, I just finished a wine tour in Chile. And that was phenomenal. The guests were like, I never considered, doing something like this. And when I saw you post Chile, I didn't know anything about it, but you just made it seem so exciting. And they were really happy that they're going. So I think that's a good trend, just opening different doors and allowing folks to discover countries they never saw themselves visiting. Yeah.
Wow, that does sound exciting.
Yes, it
It's like
is.
world, a lot more world traveling. Awesome.
Yes, yes, yes. No more the norm.
So how are you getting some of these first time clients? Is it all referrals, word of mouth, running ads? What are some of the things that works best for you?
So I don't run ads. 90% of my business is through word of mouth. I always
Oh,
say,
wow.
once I get them on that first trip, they're going to keep coming. And that's truly what happens. Someone comes on a trip and then the next trip, they bring more and more folks. For example, the Chile trip that I just finished, I just received an email yesterday from a young lady that joined us. And she said, Iris, we had so much fun. I'm bringing 5 people to the Botswana and Zimbabwe trip, that you have booked for next year. So that's just so exciting for me that people really enjoy themselves that much that they're sharing, my company with their friends and family, and they trusted me with their business.
Wow. Yeah, referral, 90% referral is a huge,
That's
huge
really
win
what it
there.
is. 90% referrals. The rest of them are from social media, but that's how most of my business is. My Facebook group has like 17,000 people in it, and it's because people are adding their friends and family to that group to learn more about my business and the trips that we have coming up.
Wow. So it's almost gotta be a nightmare keeping track of all of these parts and pieces. How do you keep yourself organized with all of this?
It's not a nightmare when you have a great team behind you or beside you.
Okay.
Yeah,
How many people do you have working with you?
well, my admin, I have 2 on the admin team, and they are
Okay.
phenomenal. They are super, super organized because that's not who I am. And I always say, oh God, please, nothing can ever happen to them because they are the ones that allow me to, travel and find more trips and host trips and, do these meetings and stuff like that because they just do the day to day operations and keep it in order. So with them, and then, one of my lead agent, Quintice, she's in the group and she's promoting more trips and she's talking to the folks and she's putting together personalized packages and she's hosting. But there's no I in team, and that's for real. It is not just me. Having good people to work with you and beside you is key to the success.
Okay. It sounds like you had a bigger operation than I was originally thinking, so that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Um,
we're up there.
Around that organization though, can we dive a little bit into those more details, how you're doing it? Is there certain softwares, management tools?
No, everything is actually pretty manual at this point. One of the admins, she's literally working from the time she gets up and she's logging off at 8, 9 o'clock at night. And as far as software, we use it. I have a test CRM system that I use. Yes. I'm using the CRM. I also use Travel Joy, which is one of the apps that,
Okay.
that travel agents use to keep everything organized.
I've
We
heard of
have
that one,
a
yeah.
little automations in place and working on some other automations. But as far as sending out processing payments and putting together programs, I'm the one that's putting together the group trips and meeting with the suppliers, going to these countries and hotels and doing site visits and all that stuff. Just great teamwork, basically.
So not just spreadsheets, but a little bit more advanced.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool deal. And has that been an evolution for you over time, or you kind of just found a system and it made things way easier for you?
And not don't let me forget ChatGPT now. Like, we
Hey, there you
use
go.
that too, and that has made our lives much easier too. So I'll be, open and transparent about that. That definitely helps
Yeah.
us in time.
So what ways are you using ChatGPT? Are you just like typing into the window, copying, pasting things out, or do you have some tools
Just
that are
running
leveraging
ideas,
it?
whereas
Okay.
in the past, it would take me a while to just figure out how to navigate, through different things. It's easier
Mm,
now for me to say, okay, I want to do this trip, but, I want to have these elements in it and I want to go to Italy, but these are the cities I want to go to. Give me your best recommendation on which city I should visit first, second, third, and what's the best route. Should I put them on ferries? Should we get on trains, planes, automobiles? So it's just helping the thinking process that, typically took me a week, sometimes a month to try to figure out things. It's allowing me to put things together more quickly and then work on some of those spreadsheets for us that we would have, manually did in the past and stuff like that. So it just
it's
helps, make the process quicker.
definitely a tool to be leveraged by us. Yes,
Abs-
make our lives easier. Around the whole sales process, from the time a person comes in, like how many touch points are you having with them? Would you say on average
So we
before they
get,
book?
I'm sorry. And it sounds like you're speaking about personalized trips.
Uh, well, I guess both a little bit.
Okay. So the
So
process is
you
different.
have your kind of generic trips and your personal trips.
Well, we have group trips and personalized trips. So group
Ah,
trips are set in stone. There's no changes. I
yeah,
plug it into
I see that.
TravelJoy and the client logs on, books it, and it's done. Everything
Okay,
is done. So we don't have to process, payments individually anymore. We don't have to send out email reminders, payment reminders, anything like that because we can set it up for TravelJoy to handle it automatically. Now,
awesome. That's
the
great.
personalized trips are what gets touched the most because these are trips
Mhm.
that, we receive quote requests for and we have to go through it, read it thoroughly, understand what it is the client is looking for, and then we're doing our own personal research to put together a package for them and then we have to send it to them for them to approve it or request changes, do a little bit more research, take the payment, send them their our little guide destination guidebook and tips and tours and itinerary and stuff like that. So that we're touching pretty frequently. But again, the majority of our business is not personalized trips. The majority is, our group trips.
Oh, wow. Okay. So easy come and easy go in that aspect, in a
Mm-hmm.
good way.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's what we specialize
Alrighty.
in are our group trips.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so with those group trips and all the parts and pieces, people like, is there usually one decision maker making all the decisions, making a payment, or each individual person gets their own access to the Travel Joy console to be able to manage that?
It's preference. Some folks feel
Okay.
are comfortable booking for both them and their guest, and some would prefer to have it individually invoiced, and they can choose that when they're signing up for it.
Okay. So quick and easy check boxes kind of things.
Absolutely.
In your space, what's one thing that you've tried that just didn't pay off well for you? Like that could be not just software, but like a new location or a new if you ever did ads and marketing and that fell through.
Having a set location. I used to have an office space over in when I was still in Virginia Beach area. I'm now in Raleigh, but I'm paying monthly rent and all the bills that are with that. I thought having a location would, bring more business because people can see me, right, see us face to face and
Right.
come in the office and stuff like that. But that was just a money grabber because at most we had 2 walk-ins a month, and those folks weren't, our typical clientele. They were just kind of folks that were walking around and stop through or, stuff like that. Or going virtual,
Tire kickers kind of thing.
exactly. So going virtual is definitely the way to go in this industry as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, thanks COVID in that kind of way.
Yes.
Taught us a lot
And that's when I closed
what's
the
possible.
business. Yep. And I considered, opening up another one. Then when I looked at the numbers and looked at how well that worked, I figured that it was a waste of time and money.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where where do you feel things kind of bottleneck for you the most? Like where's your biggest hang up?
Uh, Hang up as far as can you
Yeah,
elaborate
so
on the
I
question
guess
more?
yeah, as far as like where what takes the most time, where do you spend most of your time in all of this? Is it with ChatGPT? It goes a lot faster now, of course, but is that still the major bottleneck, the part and piece slowing you down, or is
Um,
it
as
scheduling with people? What does that look like?
As far as bottleneck, like in a perfect world, if I had something that could make life
Yeah.
easier, it would be processing these payments
Oh yeah.
because, keep in mind we have thousands of clients. So, and a lot of our trips, they have standard payment dates. So, for example, if we have a trip that 300 people are going and payments are due on for the 15th of the month, then that's 300 payments that have to be processed. And sometimes, again, that's not in the ones that are in the Travel Joy, which Travel Joy has made our lives much easier. This is prior to Travel Joy. But if this is like a personalized trip, we're doing and people's family members are coming, situation like that. Weddings, yeah, weddings take up
Okay.
a lot of time with processing those and stuff.
So when you say processing, you mean getting their credit card information and inputting it to a third party vendor?
Yes, because as a travel agent, we don't touch the client's money. If you've ever seen anything in the news that, a travel agent or someone in this industry took off with folks' money, it's because they were processing funds to their own accounts. So as travel agents, yes, we take the client's credit card information and we pay the supplier directly. Whereas it's Carnival Cruise, or a hotel or a supplier that we're working with that put together our entire package, those have to be manually processed if the company does not accept, our travel joy or something like that.
Okay. So you're going in, you're manually looking, pulling up, well, securely, of course, pulling
Right.
up that credit card information, copy, pasting, submit, enter address, all of those kinds of things.
Exactly. So I'm still working
So
on
yeah,
trying to figure out a way to get past that one thing. And if I could figure that out, then yeah, they'll take a lot of time from our admin team so they can work on other more important jobs and duties.
yeah, across 300 people, yeah, that could definitely be some time consuming bits and pieces.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Looking into the future of 2026, is there any new type of clients that you're looking to get into, new branches, new markets, or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm trying to move over more into the luxury travel space. With me traveling so much, I have really fallen in love with feeling like I'm treated like a queen in some of these destinations because the service and then with butler service and concierge and just waiting on you hand and foot, is just has been a dream come true. I never imagined this for myself. And I would like to offer this to more clients, but I have to find the clients that, have the budget that trips like this require. I got a taste of like river cruising and these private,
Yeah.
yachts and chartering and stuff like that. And I would absolutely love to be able to do more of that.
So those ideal clients, how are you planning to get to them? Marketing,
Right
generating those
now,
leads?
I am basically meeting with, different hotel sales folks, GMs, and just trying to get familiar with these products now because I don't sell anything that I'm not comfortable with, that I'm not knowledgeable of. So I'm just doing the meetings first, just learning as much as possible. And then I plan to just get out there and find these clientels, maybe do some mailers in these high profile areas, maybe meet up at some of these golf clubs and just the areas that these potential clients typically hang out. I'm just talking, I
Okay.
love meeting
Have you ever
people.
heard
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, have you ever heard of EDDM through the
E
Postal Service?
Say it
So
one more
that's,
time.
uh, EDDM, Every Door Direct Mail.
No, I
So
haven't.
it is those flyers, but it's one way that I've seen online that you can target some zip codes
Oh,
or even some neighborhoods
I'm looking into
to
that
be able to
then.
kind of yeah, target a little bit easier.
Okay. That's something that I will look into. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So aside from the research phase, we're trying to get into just talk to people in the industry that are already doing this, it sounds
Mhm.
like. So you're trying to kind of essentially do some B2B outreach to get some more insights.
Okay.
Is that what you're doing? If so,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, yeah, that's what my plan is. Absolutely. That's what my plan is.
Okay.
I'm just still in the early stages of trying to figure that out. I'm learning right now. I'm in the educating myself phase right now, but that should be in my future plans. Yes.
Okay. So it sounds like you do have an overall solid vision of how you want to move forward in 2026.
Hmm.
You've been in the industry long enough to kind of know the ins and outs. You've developed some system processes, procedures to help you and your team to move forward, and that's that's phenomenal. That's ahead of the game for most, right?
Yes. 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 I love what I do, so it makes it easy.
Alrighty. I think that's about all the questions I have for today. Is there any imparting words you wanted to leave for those new travel agents or planners to kind of get them excited or make their lives easier that are just getting started?
Absolutely. Being in this industry isn't just tomorrow, I can be a travel agent, I'm going to make so much money. And you should never join this industry just to, thinking that it's a quick money maker. It's really an industry that you really have to be passionate about, and that'll get you far. And it's not going to be overnight. It may not be 2, 3 years, but if you keep at it and you keep educating yourself and you keep traveling and keeping your client first and making sure that they are happy and they are getting the experiences that they want and putting yourself out there, be consistent, then you can be successful in this industry as well.
Wonderful. Well, with that, I will go ahead and sign off. Thank you for everybody for
Okay.
listening and watching. Take care.